Alright, hello, how's it going everybody? I am the Zabin Neo Zabin here on Broadcast Zabin. I'm gonna do something very quickly. Alright, how's everybody doing today? I am doing quite fantastic. As you can tell, we are playing some Red Dead Redemption 2 online, because if it wasn't online, I would either be A, Arthur, or B, John, and if you want to go by full names, Arthur Morgan, or John Marston. I'm really digging Red Dead, man. The online mode is beta. Really not knowing the reason behind it. Maybe it's set as a beta because they knew they wanted to add stuff. I'm just gonna set this thing to there we go. I almost like tripped on myself, but let's go ahead. Let's put this to charge. There we go. Now that I'm gonna talk about that one in a second, but let's put it with our Animal Crossing amiibos. Yeah, so, like, earlier, well, when I was trying to do a video, I realized this is more of a random talk instead of a, what I titled it, which was basically planning what my day is. But, I mean, aside from what I was going to talk about my day and how it was going to be, or at least the idea of what it was, you get the gists. Actually, you probably don't. But I was gonna talk about what I was gonna do today. What's that? That's sure, why not? I was gonna talk about what I was gonna do today and whatnot, but I'm like, you know what? Maybe we should talk a little bit more about stuff. So I want to talk about Red Dead first because obviously I'm playing Red Dead, and it's a really good game. So I don't know. Oh, nice. You put it in a pouch that I don't have. Red Dead, so far, it's been a very great game. Great game. The story was fantastic. I believe I said this already with a different video, probably. Yeah. It's a good thing we did this. I think I might have done another video where I did talk about the story and all that, but it's really true. And I don't know who, what, when, or how, why, but of course this is gonna earn the game of the year because there's a lot of games. It's not just the only one. There's a lot of games that do earn game of the year. Now, for Red Dead itself, as of now, oh, I forgot to put the mark. For Red Dead as it is now, I mean, obviously it's not gonna be like, oh, hey, look, it's game of the year. No. Tumbleweed's the closest? Nah, let's go to the, let's go Strawberry. And I agree with my bro that Strawberry is a nice little looking town, even though there's really not much to do there. I think if Strawberry ended up having a gun store and maybe something else, it would have been a lot better. Personally, this is just me. I do wish, in a way, because in GTA, they have this system where it kind of somewhat allows players to have cash and have, like a credit card account. You get it? So, in Red Dead, there is a bank. I understand why they don't have players use a bank. It's because, you know, you're outlaws and things like that. But I think it would have been kind of a cool thing to do is, have it where you can save it separately, because I'm always trying to get money for things, or I'll notice that I have a lot of, like, I'll have plenty of gold, or just the right amount of gold to go ahead and purchase something, and the next thing I know, I'm going ahead and I'm purchasing it, when really I should go ahead and save it for something else. A good example being my revolver. I have the Scotchfield's revolver. Is he losing stamina? It's making a lot of noises for some reason. I love that revolver. At first, I really didn't like it, and when I was playing the campaign, I was more using, I believe I was using the Kettleman rifle, if not the double action. No, I believe I was using double action just because double action's a lot faster. But playing online, you can see the Scotchfield is like a very balanced gun. It does a pretty good amount of damage and has a lot of a speed. So that way you're not using like the Kettleman revolver, which is fast, but the damage is a lot worse. Double action, I believe, is like the same thing, but a lot more. So it's a lot more faster, but it's a lot more weaker, I believe. Um, so the Scotchfield rifle, revolver is definitely in a good spot. And again, my example for that is because, well, I should have popped it up. Maybe when we get to, oh wait, Strawberry doesn't have a gun store, I forgot. If we ever get to a gun shop, we'll go ahead and we will, and you're gonna see often that I'm kicking just so I don't get out of the cinematic camera view, or at least I don't get kicked out for idling, even though technically I'm not idling. Um, is that I use the gold a lot for customizing my weapons, and my Scotchfield revolver is blue steel because I can't really afford the blackened steel, and the engraving is gold, but I was gonna make the hammer, the trigger, and the sight for the gun made out of brass, because brass and gold in the game, you could it's hard to tell the difference, but you could kind of somewhat tell. So, seeing how brass, I believe brass was cheaper. If not, it might be the same price. If it's still the same price, I'll go ahead and I might as well just use gold. But if it's less to use brass, I'll go ahead and I'll use brass. The idea that I have is right now I'm level 22. Yes, right now I'm only level 22. I need about 1,200, maybe 300 to go, round up. Um, to go ahead and level up. But anyway, point is, once I hit 25, that's when players are allowed to go ahead and buy a holster for a very cheap price. I think it's like $8. All I have to do really is kill like 2 birds, pluck their feathers, and sell that with the meat and the carcass, and I'll end up getting like the $8. Again, in perfect condition, not just any condition. Do that, and I'll get revolvers. So basically, what I want to do is get like 2 Scotchfield revolvers, and kind of have them the same where they're both black with gold engravings. But then in my mind I was like, oh, what if I do one that's black with gold engravings and then another, why is that one drifting? Okay, that was weird. Like I was trying to say, have one where it's black with gold engraving, and then have another one either with gold with black engraving, or like a silver with the black engraving, or maybe just something entirely different, like instead of like using bronze, maybe. I don't know. Or kind of do that, I mean, kind of like that cliche, ebony and ivory. You know how they say those two go together very well? Try to do something like that, perhaps. Um, I'm not 100% sure at the moment, but definitely for sure I do want to customize both revolvers to either match or look like they're a good pair together. The updates so far in the game, which I'm hoping we'll go ahead and maybe show some of it, is mostly been clothing. There's been one new weapon from what I can tell. I heard there's supposedly going to be a new rifle in the game, but I have not seen that rifle ever since my bros mentioned it. My fingers. When you go to the gun store, or even in the catalog, you go into the gun section, and the very first weapon, or the tabs, because it goes by categories of revolvers, pistols, rifles. Once you get into that, there's one that says unique weapons, and there's something called a rare shotgun, which basically is just like a double barrel shotgun, but I'm not 100% sure how that works, because in my mind, I'm thinking they're just selling you the same gun. So what's the point of getting it? You know, I'm assuming maybe if you're someone who likes using a double barrel shotgun, essentially it's like a way of getting it faster. But again, I really can't tell the difference between the two. Like, if I press it, does 2 shots go out automatically, or can I press it once and only shoots once? Like, I don't know exactly what are the stats of that gun, and I rarely ever see people killing me with a rare shotgun. There's only been one time, and I believe that was playing values, the most wanted mode, basically where people kill each other, and whoever has the most points on their head, people will try to get them because they have more points on their they have more value, so you would kill them to get more points and then you'd win. So I was trying to do that, and I think that might have been the only mode that I've seen anybody kill me with a rare shotgun. Other than that, I've not seen anybody with a rare shotgun. I've been contemplating should I get it, but then there's the pump action shotgun and the lever action, um, which both are about the same. It's just I believe one might hold a bit more ammunition than the other. But they're still really great weapons. I mean, I really love using those shotguns. That rabbit? I could have ran it over. We're almost there. I hear shooting, and shooting typically gets me nervous because I can't tell if players are killing other players, which like they did before the update, or if they're just shooting random people. Now, I do love the update a lot. Now, I wouldn't say I love it a ton, but the aspect part, you know, the part where um, we don't like if we could only see people who are wanted, and you could go ahead and try to kill them to claim the bounty, which typically at times isn't worth it unless, again, it is players killing a lot of other players or just causing a lot of crime in general, which seems kind of rare. Um, you're just it's like this basically. You're more like in the past before this update when everybody knew where everybody was. It was so easy for people just to go ahead and be like, oh, let's go to this guy and let's just kill him and mess around with him and things like that. And it was very easy to, again, have them, see, there's a guy right there. But if I were to keep going, running on more north or wherever direction we're running, I wouldn't be able to see him on the map at some point. Everything's in a vicinity, and I do love that because I used to hate so much when, and this was literally like the last situation before the update, and I think I might have talked about it before, but yeah, keep running. I'm gonna do a cinematic camera for them, so they could keep running. But my bro and I, we're over here in Saint Denis, or Saint Denis, Saint Denis, however anybody wants to say it. Saint Denis is how they say it in the game, you know, just without the T, but it's Saint Denis. So everybody here, there was like a whole gang, and of course my bro had to mess things up by killing one of them. And they kept finding us throughout the town and things like that. And every time I try to escape, like, it almost seemed useless because they'll go ahead and they'll kill us. But it did get to the point where we did escape, and we ended up going to a camp. But what ended up happening was they were able to find where we were, and they kept following us. Which is really annoying because, one, somehow they were breaking the white flag thing. Like, oh no, get back on. They're breaking the white flag like rule. Basically, whenever there's a white flag up and anybody that's in the area, you cannot, absolutely cannot kill the other player. Now, maybe perhaps it means like if you kill somebody and then run to your camp, and you guys are like both red to each other. Or new update, I keep pressing the touchpad. What game uses the touchpad for the map? I don't know. But, enemy. It's probably like an animal. But yeah, seeing that I think that they should do is put a tab or a bounty that you could see on them. That way you know, oh, this guy's worth this, it's probably worth it. Internet not sufficient? Well, it better be because nobody could be using it at this time. But yeah, these three guys are wanted. I don't know if I'm really wanted. I'm only worth 10 cents, so it doesn't really seem like I should be wanted. But yeah, that's kind of the new system. If you ever come across these guys... Ooh, two of them are right next to each other. And the third guy is kind of running to them. It does make me question, though, like, do they care more about the money or just killing each other? I don't know. But yeah, there's not too much stuff in Red Dead, like, in terms of the update. Just some new clothing items that apparently will come and go. I'm hoping soon we get more weapons. Right? Just pulls his gun out. Anywho, new clothing items that'll come and go. I believe some weapons might come and go as well. I'm not 100% sure, but I did hear that weapons will be a thing. What else? I don't know. I heard we're gonna get a new game mode, but it seems more like a game event. And what makes the event different from the game mode is literally just that. Like you literally just at some point in the game, you just have to come across, oh, you've been invited to go ahead and play this event, and then whatever, depending whatever the event's name is, you go ahead and play what it is. So there was one for like headshots while on horseback. Um, there was one where I keep coming into for some reason, where you have to everybody fights over a horse, and whoever is the person that delivers the horse is the victor. uh, oh yes, we made it. So I'm not sure if there's supposed to be a new game mode, but it reminds me of, I think it's called Juggernaut, right? Yeah, Juggernaut mode. I don't know if that was in Halo, but I feel like Halo and Call of Duty both at some point um, did that mode where somebody is really tough, you kill them, you become the one that's really tough, and then you get points based on how many kills you have as the Juggernaut. Um, in here, I heard that's what they're supposed to have, except it's called like Gold, like not Gold Rush, but something like that. Um, okay, we have a lot of bird meat. Wait. This is my question. Did the challenges update? They did. So it says whole animal carcasses sold 2 of 5, skin 3 turkeys, clean weapons 3 times, or clean 3 weapons with gun oil, kill 5 players with a repeating shotgun, catch 5 fish with live bait, free roam events played 2 of them. You gotta play 2 of them. And player stats boosted by bottled tonics. Now, this is actually another thing that they added into the game. And from what I can tell, the daily challenges only gets you gold and experience. Now, my bro told me by doing this, you end up getting certain things in the mail office right here. He said because he finished, right, because at the post office, he went to the post office after he was done, because he's like, what, I didn't get anything? And I was like, well, it wasn't money, maybe it was just literally just the gold and the experience, because I ended up getting about 200 experience by the time I finished. And he's like, what the heck, I didn't get the what do you call it, the, like, I didn't get anything out of it. Like, we thought we were gonna get money at least, and that's good. But we didn't get any money, so I was like, okay, maybe it is just only, well, I guess technically gold is money, but you get the idea. So later he went into the post office, and then he ended up getting, I don't know, this is my thing, because this is what makes me skeptical. I think by doing only the daily challenges, you get experience and a little bit of gold. By doing just that, that's all I think you get. My bro, when he went into the post office, like after he finished, he ended up getting tonic, and no, I don't know if he got tonic, but I know for a fact he ended up getting poison arrows, and he ended up getting explosive shotgun shells. So I was just like, oh, well, you know, that's pretty cool. He's like, okay, well, you go ahead and check. I go ahead and check. There was nothing in there. We play for a while. Again, I check on it here and there. Still nothing. I play it, I believe today is when I got it. But I ended up getting it, or checking it out. And when I got, yeah, I think it was today. It could have been the other day. But basically, I was going in online, and it said, oh, well, Red Dead, Rockstar, or whatever, is giving you free items. And I was like, what free items can they be giving me? I go into the post office, and sure enough, I ended up getting the explosive shotgun shells and the poison arrow, but then I ended up getting tonics as well. So I wasn't sure if there was a mistake and they ended up sending it to me. Was just that alone an item that they were giving players, the explosive, the poison, and tonics? Like, what could it be? So I'm not 100% sure on what it was, but my bro's theory is that you get some items like ammunition whenever somebody goes ahead and completes a daily challenge. And that's an interest is a cool thing if you ask me to have daily challenges. It kind of inspires people to go ahead and do something. Um, for me, that's really cool because again, I like doing challenges. If it's in Fortnite, I like doing it. That's kind of why I play Fortnite. I'm gonna play it a bit more on here because of those challenges sometimes. Like my bro ain't playing, I might go ahead and just finish them by myself. Um, Now Overwatch technically it doesn't have challenges, but yet it does. The only way to get like certain sprays, you have to complete the achievements. So it's kind of like achievement hunting or trophy hunting, depending on your console. Um, so that kind of varies. Um, So Overwatch, it's kind of the same, a little different because you just get trophies off of it every time that you do those. But the ones that don't actually count as trophies, um, they're like in-game things that you have to do, and they are challenges. So in a way, it does have challenges that are not trophies. Um, Heck, I'm not really sure if there's a lot because I mean, technically, trophies in their own right is considered challenges because you're technically challenging yourself to go ahead and, let's say, play a game on hard mode or play the game on hard mode and don't die or something like that. Like I believe that was one of the trophies for BioShock. It was literally play the game on the hardest difficulty and don't ever die. um it would say, it says something like don't ever use the Vita chambers, which basically you use when you die. um Boy. um Yeah, but Red Dead, pretty cool. I'm kind of hoping that I get a lot more stuff. They should have just gave me more money because I do want to get the jawbone knife, and I think it's just gonna be a knife with like animal bones on it, which would be pretty freaking cool to see. Um, but yeah, that's that. At least in terms of Red Dead Redemption. Um, I'm sitting on my knife. That's probably why I'm feeling something poking me. Here we go. Perfect. Okay, so maybe it isn't the end of Red Dead, but what weapons do I have? Get rid of that varmint rifle real quick. Oh wait, no, I could change that in there. Oh, this is. I didn't want that to happen. Well, now I'm dirty.
Ma'am, nice to see you for the first time. Well, it's really the catalog you want to look at. It's got
First
everything
time.
in here.
I thought I was in here before. The gunsmith. What's happening? Is the game broken?
Better luck next visit.
Let me get out and then go back in. There we go. Oh, excuse me. So, here we go. I feel like this is the best way. It's just to show it. Yeah, clean it.
Beautiful condition. Keep it up.
It looks like such a good gun. Now, if there's a way to change the...
I bet I can make this piece
I
work
mean,
a lot better for
technically,
you. Bolts, triggers, parts,
like,
back
ebony
here.
works. I have 50 bucks exact. Wow, that's a first. Like, this works, but I kind of want it to be, like, shiny. Like a shiny pearl, but black. You get me? But like I was trying to say was, I want two guns like this. I want both Scotchfield. And what I want to do, I'm thinking... No, put it back up. I didn't mean to take it away. What I want to do...
Good. Ain't no trace of rust on that as far as I can
is...
see.
Let me see. Brass... Oh no, gold's a lot more. Oh, so brass... Well, you could see the difference on here. I feel like if you do the barrel... Yeah, let's see how it looks. Barrel, cylinder... And then do, like... I feel like blue steel looks better than black. Like that, right? In reverse, so that would be gold, and then the full engraving will go ahead and do black and steel. You get me? You get the idea? You get it? It just looks, it's such a good gun. I mean the way that it looks, I kind of wish you could customize it a bit more instead of having it all themed as one, you know, either, oh, it's there or it's not. Have it be a bit more of a choice. So like, let's say the frame, I like the way the frame looks, the cylinder, but I don't like the barrel.
More bounty posters that go up,
Let's say I
more
like
people
this
flock
one
to
for the
my
barrel,
shop.
right?
Plenty of reason for
Like,
that
I
in
don't know. I just
Valentine.
feel like there should just be a way for. Although I probably should have done this one, to be honest. Look how cool that. I really do like the way that looks. It was a choice between this, and I thought this was a little eh, and I thought this one was better, but clearly this one is the better choice. Um, what's the varnish? That's the grip, right? Okay, so maybe, just maybe they do have a
Sold my old
pearl, and then you could
blunderbuss to a
change the color
bounty
on it.
hunter
Maybe
last
not, but
week. That boy's out looking to get someone, that's for sure.
but a blunderbuss, dude. Well now I'm 49.25. Um, I'm a little disappointed
Just
because a
ain't no
lot of
way to
these
fine
guns, I
tuning
mean,
your
it
gun,
makes
you know?
sense. They're all,
We can do a lot with this. New trigger, brand new bolt, your pick.
they're. I really hate when they keep talking.
You want to make this really yours?
They're
Give it a
mostly.
personal engraving.
Ooh, silver would look pretty cool, right? Now look at that. Oof. See, because right now it's at black and. So if I just put everything at iron, which should be the cheapest choice. Really? For 4
Don't listen to
gold?
folk around here. I
I
do
might
not
actually
and
do that,
will
to be
not
honest,
ever
because
do
that doesn't
arms
seem like a bad
business with no
choice.
gang.
Then do a full engraving. I really can't tell. I feel like this one that I have for my guy. Ooh, actually, let's do that one. And it would be white, so we'd put all this in the blue steel. Dang, $100. That's crazy. Now, carvings, I'm not really too sure
Still
why
seems
that's a
strange to me
choice.
that they'd need so many
Uh,
dark Cornwall kerosene
varnish.
tops. Must be
See, and
something
then I
else
would
going
use the
on
dark
there.
walnut for that. I could make it right now. Actually, yeah, let's do that. We'll make it dark, and then later when we actually get the gold for it, we'll turn all the metals into iron. I mean, I could technically make this iron, change it in reverse, but it looks so much like cleaner
If it
with
weren't for all the bounties
silver. It
running around
pops
New
out.
Hanover, I'd be out of business.
And then again, nickel doesn't. Okay, let's just get out of this because we're focusing a lot on customizing it.
I'd
Although
recommend loading up on extra ammo.
I do want these. I want this one. More damage, less range, and then this one more range, less damage. Or no, it's slightly more damage because this one's before, right? So this one doesn't seem that bad. High velocity is probably the best. Even though express is more damage. Yeah, but then again, it still has a lot of range, so who cares? And lastly, I just want to look at the varmint, not the varmint,
You keep treating that like your own child, all right?
my
Good on you.
Lancaster. There we go. Couldn't think of the name.
I'd just like to
So
give this a personal touch with some engraving.
this, I have no clue how I want to customize it because it's blued steel or blackened steel. I mean, with brass and everything else. The frame is brass, but everything else is blackened steel. Now this I could kind of see like silver. I think that's a cliche color, no? Or is it gold or brass? One of these two are cliched. It might be brass. Although gold doesn't look that bad. I never heard of brown
If
steel,
it weren't
but
for all the bounties running around New Hanover, I'd be out of business.
I think this is a situation that I might do the same as well, where this is a ooh, nickel doesn't look that bad. It's like smooth. Um, actually, you know what? I could do all nickel and then make the frame like blued steel, or should I? Yeah, make it like blue or
If
I
it
wouldn't
weren't for
even
all the
mind
bounties
brown.
running around New Hanover, I'd
I
be
don't
out of
know.
business.
Do something like the Victorian, right? It's like on top of the barrel. Hold on, what? It's in like locations you wouldn't see. Okay, so maybe I wouldn't customize this gun too much. I'm gonna leave it the way it is. Um, Geez, it's already night out. Wow. Anywho, whose horse is this?
Lamb?
Magnus. Flee. Get out of here. Um, let's start. Yeah, might as well. Let's talk about today. So did I already do the video? I feel like I've already done the video. Let me just go ahead and check up on it just in case. I want to be 100% sure. Um, let's see. This? No. I might have done it in. Well, that was 6 days ago, so I probably didn't. Um, I well, I do have somewhat of a plan for a future or upcoming video, but there's also more things to this that I'm like, huh. Am I gonna end up getting more channels? Because we're barely much as it is as of now. So, here's the thing. Right now, um, it was kind of just this random idea, just spontaneous. Like one night, right? I'm just with my mom, we chilling, um, and I don't know why. YouTube's algorithm, because what I watch when I go to YouTube is I tend to watch a lot of random stuff, but typically I go for video game stuff that typically would apply to me. Um, let's go to the Brave Manor. But like I was trying to say, let me get around this guy real quick. Is okay, let me start with let me start with the Zabin project, because this would be much easier if we go kind of in order. So for the Zabin project, right now, I do have a video that I'm thinking about doing today. I'm hanging out with some buddies of mine. I've done this last week already, and I think everybody's kind of comfortable with it. I just want to go ahead and ask, like, hey, is it fine if we go ahead, kind of just do this thing? Now, I would have to record, and if anything was happening, I think obviously either way, I think I would have to go ahead and mute the volume and then do a what is that called? Just not a soundtrack. I mean, I'm gonna have to put my own song or something over it, but one of those songs that YouTube has. I forgot. I don't know why I can't remember what it's called right now. Off their soundboard, but basically, I have, and you guys could go ahead and check it out for yourself. It's aromatherapy. Now, aromatherapy has been something that's been used for years now, and I guess more recent in decades, in the past decade, let's say. I forgot how long that is. Is that 10 years? A decade of decadence? Anybody know that one? No? I might be the only one. Aromatherapy has always just been burning, like flowers, things like lavender, vanilla, fennel, is it ylang ylang or yang yang? Pretty sure it's lang, because it's Y and then lang, like L-A-N-G, so pretty sure it's lang lang. And I realized that I messaged the company, like, they have a Facebook page, and I messaged them on there, because I didn't want to waste time doing it via what do you call it? Through a live chat or anything like that. But I think at this point, since they haven't replied to my Facebook message, I'll go ahead and go to the website and do a live chat with someone and just say, hey, I really want to do a video on this. I don't have many, subscribers on YouTube. It's clear, it's obvious, I really don't have that many. I do kind of want to just go ahead and confirm with them, like, is there any way that, I can express this or explain this, but don't get it mistaken for something else, and still just basically proving the point of what they want. So basically, I'm trying to be like a social media outlet, helping, if anybody else wants to get into it, I could help you guys basically get like a discount or something, and then you guys go ahead and check it out for yourselves. It's definitely great. It's called Monk. Again, it's aromatherapy. This is something that's not an e-cig, but honestly, in my opinion, if you're somebody who's using like cigarettes or anything like that as a way to help like calm you down, this technically can do that. Me myself as an individual, I don't smoke or anything. I found this online, and it's really getting popular. I'm noticing like I was getting ads for it, my bro was getting ads for it. Especially, I think it's if you ever check the website, definitely like just ads in general. If you ever check them out, they seem to pop up more frequently. Um, but Monk right now, I think ever since they unleashed the Monk R, it's been a lot more popular. It's a diffuser that looks just like an e-cig, and you use it just like if you were vaping. The thing is, the point of this isn't to you know, get your little nicotine or anything. You use it, you breathe through your nose, you get the nice, amazing smell, a bit of the taste, and it's just great. It's very relaxing. For me, again, like it says you're supposed to use these. I mean, well, maybe it doesn't say on the label of the pod. There's names for them, and it's typically what that may help for. So there's this one that I have called Sleepy that I'm using right now because I can't sleep. My eyes are heavy, probably because I've been up for a long time, but you get the idea. It smells really great though.
Howdy, partner.
So again, this isn't anything that's supposed to be compared to a cigarette. It's not an e-cig, it's not like vapes. This is the Monk. This is a literally it's just completely different. This is like made for helping people relax and things like that. I remember not reading but watching a video of somebody saying how they used to have anxiety and things like that, and using this with the Monk. um she said that the blend that she used was the Zen, and basically, like by definition of Zen, um you are like calming down, you're being more relieved. So um really, there's a snake there, and Larson, come on, I can't get I don't got sight. Oh, I just saw it. There we go. Like I was saying, like I don't know, like it's just really good. Like I was using it. My bro actually uses a real vapor, like a vapor. He uses a real vape. Now his, I believe he said the same thing. Like his doesn't actually like have the bad stuff in it. So I was I was okay and willing to go ahead and try his. Um, but the thing is, as soon as he tried mine, he like already fell in love with it because it doesn't have any of the bad taste. He said that he had a blend that was called like strawberry banana, right? And it kind of has that smell, but then once you use it, all you taste is like the marijuana, and it's just like, ugh, it's nasty. At least for me, it's very nasty. I'm like, ugh, I don't like that. But if you use the Zen, or the Monk, correction, Zen is just one of the blends. If you use the Monk, it's so much better. So for us, we use it to kind of calm down and feel better, and it definitely does the job. For my bro, he uses Ocean, or he used Ocean. That's why I have it in the. It comes the Monk. If you purchase the Monk R, it comes a case that charges the Monk, and then you have 2 extra blends on the side. So technically, you get 3 ready to go. I had one called Ocean because I was fortunate enough to go ahead and still be able to get the coupon where I get 5 free. I got my 5 free, and one of them was Ocean. I tried it and I was like, whoa, this is really good. I brought it along with me. I asked my bro, like, oh, hey, you know, like, I was just doing it, right? Like, I switched to Ocean. I was like, here, try this one. Or I didn't say try it, but I was like, smell it. So, you know, there goes me using it. I blow it, and they smell it, and they're like, ooh, that one smells really good. And that's when my bro was just like, hey, can I try it? I was like, yeah, sure, bro, go ahead. He was a little confused at first. He looked at the LED, which kind of in a way looks just like the pod part, or the pod section. But I mean, if you really look at it, you could tell like where you do it. It's not hard, but I was just like, yeah, you just go through this end, do what you do, because he was already, you know, he has experience. So I was like, yeah, you do that, and bada boom. So he tried the Ocean one himself, and he was like, I feel happy. And I was like, yeah, man, go ahead. I mean, if you want to purchase it, go ahead and purchase it. Like, it's definitely, it's nothing bad in it. All it is our essential oils. Again, this is aromatherapy. This is, if you yourself, it helps calm down. He felt happy using it. I don't know if it's because the blend itself, maybe because I'm doing it with him. Like, there could be a lot of factors to it. Heck, it could be the simple fact that my bro was able to vape in front of all of us, and he's okay with that. And that's kind of what I wanted as well, in a way, where he's comfortable enough if he wanted to go ahead and, you know, do this with it. Like, if he has to do it, and we're hanging out, and for some reason he just feels bad, and I'm just like, hey, bro, if you want, you know, you could do that in front of me at least. Like, I'm down for that. Like, I'm fine. Like, let's say I'm hanging out at his house, and he's like, man, I really need to do this. I'd be like, go ahead, bro. Do it. And, you know, just go ahead and just... No, really, you're supposed to blow out your nose, but he doesn't know how to do that for some reason. I don't know why. But it makes him feel better. I feel kind of good. These are not bad. So if anybody thinks, oh, these are going to be bad for your health, you're going to have lung problems or something, it's very much the opposite. This is actually really great for helping people, you know, calm down and things like that. And I've noticed that was me. Although it does take some time, and I guess that does vary the person. I mean, after all, whenever people try to, you know, the doctors, whenever they put the mask on, I'm always like, I don't feel tired, and the next thing I know, I'm blacked out. But it usually takes time. Honestly, I don't even know why I came in here if I'm not even trying to buy clothes. But yeah, so the monk, it's definitely something that's great and awesome. I want to do a review, but again, I don't want to like make a mistake and have them, I wouldn't say go against me, but you know, maybe they'll go ahead and they'll like, hey, take that down, it's horrible, don't do that, or you know what I mean, like, because I want to help like promote it. So I think what I'm gonna do maybe tomorrow is, or maybe it might be the next week, basically this is the idea. I myself, I want to do the video. I want to be like, hey, look, this is this, it's this. I want to sit down, either do a video where I sit, yeah, it's gonna be split. So I'm gonna be sitting down, talking to the camera, like, hey, this is the news item that, you know, is out. I think it might become popular. Give my opinion on it before, and then show, like, explain, like, okay, I've been using this for quite a while. I'm probably gonna say like, oh, maybe about a month now I've been using it. And it's helped me calm down, because typically I'm more of a wild kind of guy. Like, whenever I'm with my friends, I'm always like yelling about something. And typically, if you knew me, like if you never met me before, and you meet me for the first time, you'd be like, oh, this guy's pretty, you know, he's kind of a funny guy, he's pretty chill, and that's what I like to be. I prefer being more the chill, but being with, you know, my friends, that's kind of like the thing. It's like a stress reliever in a way. You know, you let all the bad out, and then whenever it's like time to be professional stuff, you're actually really good. That's why, heck, for all I know, I probably could have gotten a promotion and be manager, but just simply, literally by just being that, just being cool with people, doing nothing bad. Oh my god, by doing just basically just having a time to do bad stuff. That's literally like my session with some of my friends. Like, we'll have a moment where, like, most of the time we're always doing stupid bad stuff, like, and I'm just saying stupid things, right? But that's usually like in private. So if people are around, they're not gonna be able to hear it or anything. Like, we'll go to, what did we go to? We go to a bookstore, Barnes and Nobles. We'll joke around and stuff, but I'm not gonna like pull out my monk and have people assuming I'm vaping in there and getting high and whatnot. Like, that's disrespectful and whatnot. But we will make jokes. Like, I remember saying something and seeing one of the guys kind of, I was gonna say in the background, but he was close by. We were just in the same aisle. And I don't even remember what I said. I just remember that I said some joke or something, looked over, and then the guy looked like he was about to laugh because of what he heard, and I was just like, haha, I'm a funny guy. I still don't even know what I said, if we're just gonna be completely honest. I have no clue what I said. But I just remember, like, peeking over to see, like, there's this guy looking at us, what do we do? and he was just like he gave a smile and a bit of a laugh because I said something, and I was like, okay, I think I did a good job. Um, where's the butcher? Here we go. But literally, that's how I am. So, um, I hope they fix this horse bonding thing soon because I hate that sometimes I'm not able to do a quick turn on my horse. But anywho, so yeah, basically I want to do a monk review. Um, and that's just the thing. Like I don't want to make a mistake. Like I want to say like yeah, this could definitely in a way be like I feel like the way that I say it right now, this could totally be in a way, just perhaps a way to alternate from using something like other vaporizers and e-cigs to using this, which can be just as helpful and a much healthier choice from using something like cigarettes if you're using it to help relax yourself. I feel like it's long, but if you hear it all out, and maybe even in text, right, you're gonna be like, oh, well, he is saying something good. Um, I don't know. I'm really hoping, like, I'm just thinking, like, in my mind. I think I'm just overthinking the situation. So I'm thinking that I'm overthinking, and that could be a plausible thing. Um, and I'm pretty sure, like, I'm more than certain if I ask, oh, hey, if I were to do this, would it be worth it or anything? Maybe they'll say yeah, but in my opinion, I'd be like, can you guys sponsor me? Can you guys give me free? They'd be like, yeah, sure, give us your address. And then I'm like, turns out that Um, that'd be goofy. But that would be amazing too. If like I'm like, oh, I don't have many. Is it fine if this? And they gave me like a free 5-pack, and I believe the 5-pack would be would basically be the same blends that they offered when I got the free 5 pods, which would be interesting. But if they let me get my choice of which ones I wanted to use, definitely I would go ahead and use some of the ones that I don't have, which would be like the sexy, the love, the if I had to pick 5, sexy, love, uh, mountain, the I'd probably pick ocean again, just because I really liked it too. But no, let's not count that in. Um, there's a new one. I think it's like no, not relieve, focus. Whoa. Okay, I think we're good. I tried to mute the mic after the first one. So, I believe they have a new one called Focus that just came out. I think I would definitely do that. There's also Active, I believe, and there's one called Forest, which isn't a Monk R yet. But who knows? Very well later in the future they could definitely go ahead and turn that into a if it's not an individual pod, then at least they eventually will. Um, but yeah, it's really good. It's nothing bad in it. Again, no additives, anything like that. So I just want to go ahead. I just want to get in contact with them, and just ask if I were to say or like do a review on it, would they mind me? Like, would they? Basically, it is a sponsored video. Is it okay for me to go ahead and say something about this product, or do they need me? Yeah, again, it's just a sponsored video. Watch them be like, oh, if you get any sales, you're only gonna get store credit, because they do have store credit. I don't know if you get. I think maybe you get some just by simply. Yeah, look at all these herons. My bro was spelling it wrong. He said hero and an IN when it's just an N. It's a heron. What was I saying? So yeah, so I just want to go ahead. I just want to contact them in a way, just be like, I want to do a video on this. Would it be worth the time? Is there anything that I need to say? Like, this is what I want to do. I don't want to make any mistakes. and get it done. Again, I messaged their Facebook account, which they did message me once saying, hey, you know, go ahead and message us here, and we'll go ahead and we'll contact you or whatnot. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, let's do that. I haven't heard from them ever since I messaged them again. Um, Actually, it's probably not even that long ago. 27? When was that? Was that 3 days ago? 1, 2, yep, that was 3 days ago. I messaged them. Not even that, and then I had another one 2 days before that saying, hi, it's me again, I'm just curious about this. I'm gonna try message them right now just to see if by any chance um, will they go ahead and say something, because this is just my opinion. Maybe they'll just say, oh well, hey, you know, do it, because they are kind of looking for people who do have a lot of followers or viewers. That way um, oh, I forgot to mute my iPad, which is connected to my phone, so let's mute that. Let's use my iCloud, which I could get up. Alright, here we go. So this is what I have. I did have, this is what I messaged them on Facebook, but now I'm going ahead and going to the live customer contact to see if this is just anything, you know what I mean? So basically the message says, hi, I'm thinking about doing a review on your product for YouTube. Is there by any chance a guideline you'd like me to follow? And I don't have many subscribers, so would it be worth the time? I'm gonna send that. And then there we go. So that was the... Oh, that was specific questions. What the heck? They have somewhere, if I could find it. They have a live chat. Here we go. Oh wait, no, it's still the same thing. So they did probably change it, unless they changed it for me. Oh no, here we go. Oh, here we go. I see. So it says, sorry, we are not online at the moment. Leave a message and we'll get back to you. So I already sent something to them, but we'll probably go ahead and check up on them later today. But yeah, I just want to see if there's just anything like, oh, well, don't, you know, try not to say that our product is this. Make sure when you're talking, just, you know, say whatever you want. Say whatever you want. As long as, I mean, obviously I have a lot of good, positive stuff to say. I want it to be where it's like, don't say we're drugs. No, I'm joking. I don't know. I just don't want to mess up on it, basically. If we're just gonna be completely honest. But yeah, so I do want to go ahead and sort of do like a review video on it. Again, I highly doubt that they will, whoa, slow down. I highly doubt they will, what's poor? Unless it's just 1 star, like a poor gator but perfect skin. Let's see. Wow! Okay, well, the weak spot is, well, the sweet spot is between the eyes, and I shot him in the eyes, so that can make a lot of sense. Oh, we could probably get a better one. That one's 1. This one looks like it's 3. It's pristine. Oh my god. There we go. Make him leave. And then... I'm using the Lancaster. Oh my god. Now watch this be in poor condition because I shot it with the Lancaster and then I shot it with this. Dang it! Why? I thought I had it out for some reason. Dang it, Larson. You screwed me over. Who knows? Maybe more will spawn in. Okay, possibly not. But yeah, that's what I'm doing, so... Maybe I won't record anything today about it, but I would definitely love to. I would like to go ahead and record something, at least me using it. I don't seem... Maybe it's just the smell, like it's more for the smell or something. It's, for me, it's just calming, just the act of doing it. The blends, to me, aren't... Maybe it's... I don't know. I'm thinking it could be like a placebo effect, like where you think, oh, hey, I'm using Sleepy, so I must be getting tired now. It could be, but then again, it could very well not be. Again, placebo effect, meaning to make you think that it's doing something when really it isn't. And sometimes there's a lot of situations where, you know, you could give somebody a pill made out of, let's say, sugar. Just have like a bitter coating to make it be like, oh yeah, this is how regular, you know, pills taste. Just because you think it's working, sometimes that's all you really need. What's it called? For some reason, I'm remembering in Stephen King's It, where they're like, oh, the inhaler that you have is just a placebo. Like, it's just water. It's not actually like any chemicals in it that help you breathe better. It's just water that spurts into your, you know, into your mouth or in your lungs, I guess, and that's it. What? Okay.
Hey there, friend. How can I help you?
I'm gonna sell some stuff. So, like, it could very well just be that, where it's like a placebo. Like right now, I'm kind of tired.
These days.
Oh, I should have not sold the bird. That's fine. Like right now, I feel pretty like tired, and I know if I just turn off the game, I could go to sleep pretty fast.
Done and done. You enjoy that.
Oh my God, Lars. Oh my gosh, come on, Larson. Okay, this is my problem. Where are my camps? It says I have none. Except a small camp. Do they have one that says Lemoyne? Oh, okay, no. Oh, right here. Oh, now, there we go. Jeez, it wasn't doing it earlier, but now it is. There we go. Perfect. Wow, I haven't seen that yet. So, or have I? I don't remember. So this is my thing. We already talked about the monk a bit. It's, again, it's a diffuser, so don't get it mixed with an e-cig or other vaporizers. Even though it, in a way, is technically, I mean, it vaporizes the oils, so technically you could say it's a vaporizer, but it's a diffuser, because it's only using oils, not other. Point is, aside from the Zabin project, Broadcast Zabin, we will continue doing live videos and things like that. This is what I was trying to bring up earlier, which basically is my buddy and I are thinking, I don't know, I don't know if this is going to be a new YouTube channel. I don't know if it's going to be The one that we tried a long time ago and then we just never worked out, or what. But one night, like I was saying a lot earlier, on YouTube, I watch like a kind of a variety of videos. I like watching video game videos. So about that would be sometimes gameplay, typically in spots like in Red Dead where there's alternative like decisions or paths. So like if you're always bad, you might come across certain figures in the game instead of others. Same with being good. I doubt that there's a neutral in this, but um, if somehow you were just neutral, I suppose, that would also be a thing in itself. So hopefully he offers something. Um, so what? You could change Crip's outfit. Um, this would be a good one for him if I had 10 gold. He'd be walking around with a bare head. Like I was saying, I'll watch video games, right? Sometimes it's some where, oh wow, really at 65 you do fast travel. Sometimes it's you know a game where, I mean, a lot of people do it as well. It's a game that you don't have, so you go ahead and you might watch somebody else play it, and you go, oh, you know, this is a game that I'd play. Kind of most recently, since I've beaten Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, is watching people go shiny hunting. And me, myself, I really like shiny hunting. It's hard. It's like almost tedious. Or not even, like, because you're constantly catching the same Pokemon over and over and attempts to hope that at some point in the area that you're looking at, there would be a shiny Pokemon. And if anybody doesn't know what shiny Pokemon are, it's basically a alternative color to the original Pokemon. So, for example, the one that I caught just by running around randomly was a Rhydon. It's a rhino themed like it looks like a rhino. Uh, there we go. So the Pokemon looks like a rhino, and the color, like the theme of it is it's a rock Pokemon. So it's like a rock that looks like a rhino, I suppose. I don't know if that's the best way I can explain it. That Pokemon is always gray because, you know, rocks are typically that color gray. But oh, I don't have my gun. This works for me. So the color originally is gray. A shiny version of the Rhydon, I believe it's Rhydon, or is it Rhyhorn? Whichever one is the first in the evolution for the two, I'm not 100% familiar. I think it's Rhyhorn. But anyway, the point is, in the very first evolution of that Pokemon, the Pokemon itself is gray. The shiny version of that will end up being brown, or a bronze color. And, what's another good one? I have, Pinsir. Pinsir is a Pokemon that is it's an insect, and it's kind of the opposite of the Rhydon situation, where its original color is always brown, and the alternative, or the shiny, is gray. Now, this is something that's been happening for a long, long time. In Pokemon Go, at least I do like this feature. In Pokemon Go, the phone app, you're able to catch shiny Pokemon in that, and in that you're more likely to get shiny Pokemon, but the thing is, you're not guaranteed that you're going to get all Pokemon shiny. So you will get maybe some starter Pokemon. I believe for Let's Go Pikachu, it only has a few Pokemon in there. Like I have Sheldon, whatever the final evolution of that Pokemon is, I have it. And that's literally just It's normally it's a purple Pokemon. So when it's like a baby form, I guess if you want to call it that, it will be a color purple, but the shiny would be orange. Then when it evolves, the original again is still purple, but the shiny version, when that one evolves, it actually ends up becoming blue, which is kind of weird. You would think, oh, maybe it's going to be a big orange one, but no, it actually evolves to a big blue Pokemon instead of the orange, which I thought it would have been cool if it stayed orange. It's a nice color for that Pokemon. Um, but yeah, I think you get the idea. So that's basically just shiny hunting, and in each game, the odds are very different. In Let's Go, the Pikachu, I believe, and Eevee, I believe they said the odds are 1 out of 4,065. Then in the Pokemon Go app, it's like it varies. Like you have a 1 out of 50, I believe. Uh, for a Pokemon that's in the egg to hatch and be shiny off the bat. Um, then there's Pokemon that you catch in the wild, and that's like based off of 100 or something like that, or a couple hundred. That one you apparently all you have to do is just look to see if it's shiny or not, then move on to the next. And I was lucky enough to get 2 shiny Pokemon from that, just the app game, and I was able to transfer them into the console version, which is annoying because you would assume it's the only way to catch one Pokemon, Mew, and if you could catch almost every other Pokemon in the game, except Mew, and that annoys the hell out of me because the only way, and it's literally just like a con just so that Nintendo can get more money. Or should I say con or should I say scam? It's basically like the same thing, ain't it? I cannot see what all these. There we go. But basically, the only way to catch Mew, the Pokemon Mew in Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee, is literally to purchase a new controller, and it's the controller that's themed for the game, the Pokeball controller, which is like about 40-50 bucks. I don't know, it might vary depending where you go for it, how long it's been in the store. I believe if you go to Best Buy, maybe it'll be there. I really don't know, to be honest, but in but that's just my problem with it. That's the only way to go ahead and transfer the Pokemon from the game, or from the one that's missing into the game, which is Mew. That's the only way to be able to go ahead and transfer him into the game, is by getting the controller that has him in it. Oh, excuse me. And that annoys the heck out of me so much. Because I assumed, okay, this is my thing. I was like, oh, maybe we'll be able to go ahead and catch Mew instead of just only Mewtwo. Oh, what the? Get out of here. So, Mewtwo. Now, I never caught Mewtwo before, ever, in a Pokemon game. I've had Leaf, I've had Diamond, I've played Red, did I play Sun and Moon? I know I've played one just a little bit. Like, it was somebody else's game, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'll help you out, yeah, and just played a little bit of it, and I was like, it's been a while since I played, this is kind of fun. It's been a while. I can't remember which one I played, but I was playing that one. Definitely a newer one, that's for sure. But I've never myself caught like a Mewtwo. Like, I remember catching some of the legendary ones in Diamond, which was really hard to do. And then now we get the new Sword and Shield coming out, which I low-key kind of hope that they put more Mega Evolutions into the game. because Mega Evolutions is so like it's awesome. Now I never knew like I knew about Mega Evolutions, but like I didn't know it was limited to only a few Pokemon. Like Pidgeot or yeah, Pidgeot was or is it Pidgeot? I don't know. I'm gonna say Pidgeot. um, the final evolution of Pidgey. That one has a Mega form, and I didn't even know that. Now, I knew that Charizard for some reason had two Mega evolutions for some reason. Like, I understand there was the X and Y series, but like, how come he's the only one that has an X and Y? Like, my best bet is that for the reason for it is just because they were, like, art. I guess technically you could say they were more artistically capable of going ahead and drawing out two different versions of Charizard. So I believe the one in X is the one that's more popular, and basically it's just Charizard in like all black with blue fire. Um, and then we have the one in Y where he has like more horns. And there's like I think there's horns coming out of his arms too, or something like that. Both of them don't look too bad. I think like everybody else, I probably would pick the black Charizard more, just because it looks pretty cool, the color scheme of black and blue. Um, but I think it would have been cool as well to go ahead and have, you know, two Mega Evolutions for other ones. Like it would have been kind of cool to go ahead and see Blastoise maybe in a different way. Um, but then again, I just feel like artistically they probably were limited of what they could possibly do. Because it's like, what the heck can you do with a turtle? Well, he already has two, like, cannons coming out of his back, right? Like, from the shell. Like, what else can you do? So the Mega Evolution, he has little shells on his arms with cannons out of those, and then he has one major big one on his back, and, I'm not really, like, again, this just, like, artistically, it does seem like maybe, just because of that, just in an artistic view, um, they aren't capable of drawing up an X and a Y version for all of them, just because it's like, what can we do? Now, it would be cool to see maybe some Alola versions of other Pokemon. So, for example, like seeing, woo, like that's the thing, Blastoise. We know Squirtle, and it's even in the name Squirtle. It's very like water themed. So it wouldn't like work to change that into like fire or another type. But no, actually, for the heck of it, they did that with Sandshrew. They didn't like change the name. Like the name itself isn't like generic or anything. Like you can't say the name and be like, oh, well, what type of Pokemon is that? You know what I mean? Like Sandshrew, you kind of already knew. Sand, that's ground type. Um, Vulpix, I don't know if you could tell kind of off the bat that would be a fire Pokemon, but it is a fire Pokemon that they turned into a ice Pokemon. Same with Sandshrew. It was originally a ground type, which then became ice. It's kind of interesting to see that the color, not only the color, the theme of those Pokemon changed. Like Muck and Grimer are like rainbowed color for some reason. I believe they're smaller, but they're like rainbow colored. Geodude is still the same, but now he has like a certain like rock element within him, so he could use electric moves, which is really awesome and is like a way of defending themselves against a water type. So to me, in a way, it's just like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like imagine going ahead and playing Pokemon and you end up having a Geodude and somebody goes, oh, well, I'll just beat the Geodude with whoa.
Looking to sell your wares or buy
They
some
could
of
just
the
be like,
finest
oh, well,
meat
I'll
to
beat the
ever grace
Geodude with a
this
water
town?
type because rock and ground are weak to water. And then it turns out your Geodude
Pretty standard fare
is the
these days.
Alolan version, so you could go ahead and end up
I can't give you much when you've made
beating the
such
other
a
person,
mess of it.
basically. And my
Pretty
friend
standard
messaging me.
fare these days. So, okay
Um,
then. Done and done.
oh, wrong button.
Okay then.
We're making money off of this, surprisingly. Like, I'm not even really trying to hunt that much, but then like I went into the life of hunting. um, to be honest, I don't even know how the heck we lost focus and got into Pokemon, but I do like it. Oh, we were talking about YouTube stuff. Um, so video games, I'll just leave it in general. I watch video games from reviews to watching other people play so I could try to do what they did, like in Let's Go Pikachu, shiny hunting. Um, Sometimes trophy hunting as well. I might be a little confused, might choose the easier path. Anyway, point is, video game things, and then I also go to like other to food things. So for example, um, or actually another thing that I do like is Rhett and Link. So if anybody watches Good Mythical Morning, Good Mythical More, Good Mythical Crew, just Good Mythical in general, those guys are pretty great. They do a lot of goofy stuff. And it's good to watch those kind of people as well. Not, I don't watch memes. I used to watch like tons of memes, but now it's just like, not that much, not really. And I think it's just because of the fact that like I feel like with Rhett and Link, I actually feel like to me it's like my quote unquote grown up show. Like I could watch it and be like, yeah, I feel really cool about this. So Rhett and Link, if for some reason you guys are watching this video, which I highly doubt because I just highly doubt it, thank you guys for being the way that you are, because it's really awesome that you guys do what you do, and I just love it. I've definitely at some point in my life I'm definitely gonna go ahead and purchase some good mythical gear. Um, what else do we have going for us? I don't know. So I'll watch that. People like them, and then I'll watch cooking things. So typically I like to watch people cook up different recipes for something. Like recently I was watching how to do kebabs, and the reason behind that was because I have a very like fond memory, or is it vivid? Fond or vivid? I don't know. Because the only thing, this is what I remember. Because back in Puerto Rico, a family member of mine owns a food stand, and what he was making, I don't know what else he makes, but I remember that he was making chicken kebabs, and I remember I was talking with my mom about it, and I was like, for some reason I remember like so well. We were like in a car, and I think I was in like, you know, the trucks that have like the open back, where like two people could sit in the front and everybody just sits in the back. I was sitting in the back, and for some reason I remember just eating the kebab. I don't know why. And there was nothing special to it. Like, it could have easily just been chicken breast or chicken thigh cooked over a grill on the kebab stick, and then that's it. So for some reason, in my mind, like, I was remembering it so well. And I don't know if other places say it as well, but in Puerto Rico, they say it's pinchos. And so, for some reason, it's kind of weird, kebab, pinchos. It's like, why? It's like you're saying two different things. Um, oh my god, Larson, every time. Oh, see, hunting these guys at night's great. Now I know where your head is at. Like I was saying, um, for some reason I just had that memory of just being in the car in the back of the truck basically and eating a kebab, and it was pretty good. Like, I don't know why I remember it, but I've always remembered that. Like, that's like one memory from Puerto Rico that I had when I was little, and for some reason it still kind of lingers a bit. Like, I just remember eating a kebab in Puerto Rico, like. So I was looking up on YouTube, like, oh, well, how do some other people prepare kebabs? And then that's when I learned that, you know, well, I wouldn't say I learned that you could use different meat, but I've seen, like, sometimes people use the same recipe a lot, and they use it for different meats. So there was one, you know, this guy was putting, like, sazon, I think he was, like, he was cutting up the chicken thigh, and then he was using like two things of sazon, some garlic, adobo. I could have sworn there was like one other thing he added, and you know, They let it marinate for about 2 hours. Literally, both of them were like, "Oh, you just gotta marinate for 2 hours." So one guy was using beni, basically pig, the pig shoulder, right? Some people call it like the pig butt. Um, but he was using that, and he cut it up into basically that's a lot of pieces when you think of it. When you're cutting up that into what you need for a kebab, you could definitely use a ton of that for a kanab. I should call it pinches. Pinchos, correction. I don't know why pinches is a different word, at least in terms of how you use it. Um, I should just start saying pinchos because I feel like I'm having a hard time saying kebab. But yeah, definitely pinchos are like, again, just watching these guys make it, it was very similar how they were doing it in terms of the seasoning and whatnot. Difference mainly was just the meat. So again, one was using penne, which is basically the pig shoulder, and then the other one was using chicken thigh. Other than that, they were just, cooking it, and then afterwards what they would do is put barbecue sauce on it. And I was telling my mom, I was like, hey, this would be pretty dope. So we were doing that, and then it was later where for some reason, now I haven't seen any of these videos for like a while, so when I saw it pop up, I was like, yeah, sure, why not? It was Japanese street food markets. So basically you would go into like one of these markets, and there's just a bunch of these stands ready to go ahead and cook for you. And my mom doesn't like, I'm just saying it now, my mom hates trying something new. If she thinks it's disgusting just by looking at it or knowing what it is, she will not eat it. So basically, like, they were cooking up things like, the first one was pretty good. She was like, ooh, I don't mess with these
Hey there,
Japanese
friend. How
people
can I help you?
when it comes to their rice or something like that. And basically it was just what was it?
Appreciate it. Pretty standard fare these days.
It was fried rice. You know how they do it with the meat. Excuse me, the meat, and then like the basically the scrambled egg. Oh, excuse me. They were basically just doing that, and they were doing it really fast. So I was like really impressed with it, and I was like, oh, that would be definitely really awesome to go ahead and do one day. I mean, I don't know if I could do it just like them, but it would be awesome. So we were watching that. She was like, oh, that's cool or whatever. I'll eat that. But then we ended up getting into the other food where we saw like big crawfish, or the younger baby crawfish. Like we saw one where it's the basically baby crawfish being cooked inside of an egg. And I was just like, what the what? So basically, while the egg is cooking, essentially it's kind of like a hard-boiled egg, the way that the person that was cooking it was shaping it. And then they would crack another egg kind of like on top, so that way you get like a whole egg. Or maybe it's like two eggs. Ooh, but it looked really good, and the deals or the price for it was like amazing. You pay like $2 and you get this amazing like dish in front of you, and it's just like, oh, beautiful. So we're watching a bunch of those, right? My mom's like starting to go to sleep because it's pretty late. Basically what it is right now, which is 3:30 in the morning. Jesus, that is really late. Or really early. Now, we're watching a bunch of those. My mom was basically knocking out. I turned off the TV and was like, yeah, I'm just gonna head to bed. Like, just right before she ended up going to sleep. And I was texting one of my friends. I was texting in a group chat. But I was texting them and I was just like, let's go ahead and let's start a food truck. And I think mostly the idea that the food truck came was because, again, just my fond memory of eating a kebab in Puerto Rico for some reason. So my friend kind of caved into the idea in a way. Well, I wouldn't say caved in, or maybe it could say caved in, because she was just like, oh, there goes another gator. Are you kidding? At least it ain't poor. good, more like dead. Um, so I feel like I need to go back to the messages to go ahead and check it. Um, why is it bright? I think, oh, I just realized I really can't, because my dumb bros were, this is goofy. They talk a ton, but surprisingly, I got to the top very fast. So Snapchat, thank you for being pretty fast. Um, where is it at? I think we might stick with the usual. Just gonna take a screenshot of that. Alright, so that's when everybody was saying tomorrow. Hold on, I'm just... Uh-oh. Oh, I thought my phone froze. We all need sleep, hang tomorrow. Rose and white. Where is it? Wait. Here we go. So... why is it so hard to find? Hold on, give me one moment. I'm trying to find exactly where the message is. This might take me a while. There's so many messages that I don't even know anymore. Okay, I just found it, so I ran back. I was literally like walking and pacing outside my room, like, how come I can't find it? Why can't I find it? And then I just find it. So, um, randomly out of nowhere, I say, let's start a fast food truck business. And my friend goes, I'm down, but this does sound half. So I'm just like, let's call it FAMS. um, but then I made a joke because she said that, and I was like, well, which end? LOL. Anyway, she said, she said, look, if it's with you guys, then it'll work out. And I basically think that the idea is, since we're all like best buddies, um, and it's not like just, oh, hey, me, you start this, and then we get random other people to do it. It's kind of just putting responsibility on others without really trying to, geez, I gotta put all my cores up. We're just putting responsibility on people that, we just met, which basically is kind of the point of having a job too. You gotta put trust in the people. You gotta hope that they do it, or else they ain't gonna get money. So She was like, if it's with you guys, then it'll work out. I'm like, at first I was just like, oh, is it because that these two guys don't know how to cook? Like, I was just asking that question. She's like, no, 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 no. It's just, where do we get, the resources? None of us don't have, it says none of us are experienced, and this sounds like a plan. This what? And this plan sounds like a small thing. She's saying, remember, and then this is when she brought up, like, remember a year ago when we wanted to do YouTube, and then just uh, that had us as a group and eventually become big. I was like, yeah, I remember that. In my mind, I was like, yeah, I remember that. I don't know why she brings it up, but I was like, well, depending, if we do start a food truck thing, I was just like, well, it basically depends on what kind of food service that we are, because sometimes there's a demand for food. Somebody could be hungry and they're like, oh, well, I want to go ahead and I want to eat Latino food or Mexican. Usually people would just say Mexican food. Um, and they'll go looking for what's available, and so hopefully this would be available for us, you know what I'm saying? So I said, well, depending what kind of food service that we are, it depends what kind of food service that we are. And I said I could teach us how to cook. Uh, and then I said for YouTube, I'm like, yep, I'm at 16 subscribers for the Zabin project, and then 25 for Broadcast Zabin. So my friend's just like, yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and let's start off small, so that we could really be sure about this. She just said we just can't get a food truck out of nowhere. I'm like, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, oh, well, my bro Joey says he needs to learn how to cook because he be hungry or something. Now, my bro, he's just like, I asked him, he's like, what? I'm like, oh, it's because you don't know how to cook? He's like, I know how to cook. I was like, what do you know how to cook? He's like, eggs, pancakes, sausage. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, I know how to cook breakfast. I'm like, oh my gosh. So, I was like, right now, at the moment, it seems like my signature food is pulled chicken or shredded chicken, depending who you talk to. It's either pulled or shredded, um, which I typically use for tacos or empanadas, anything like that. Basically, whatever you would use it for. I mean, I don't want to say, hey, you could go ahead and use this for, like, by itself. Maybe you could, but, and that's literally one of the foods that my mom's friends be asking for, and I'm just like, eh. So here we go. She said, Emmy, if we just hang out at someone's place, we could go. I can always teach how to cook. Um, and she said, and just because of that, you want a food truck? Just because I have like one signature food. Um, I realized I didn't even answer that question. I just said, I need more variety of cooking, so of course I'm down. If she were to go ahead and like show us like, oh well, I know how to make this and this and this, I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. So she says, I'm down too. Now it depends on who else and what we buy and whose place. So basically at this point we're stating, and I wish I had my notebook. At this point we're just saying like, okay, we know we want to make a certain set of things. What certain set of things do we want to make? So I agreed. I'm like, yeah, should definitely start small. And if we sell in, I do accept credit card. I got a credit card thing, which the credit card scanner, reader, whatever you want to call it. And I said this, but it'll be under my Zabin Co. name, because that is basically the company product. Product is what the company's giving out. Companies, the people giving it to you. You know what I mean? Anyway, I was like, yeah, if we do anything with a credit, you would have to understand, like, it's not going to be, like, the name of the restaurant. It's going to end up saying from Zabin Co. This is the place, like, our name is Zabin Co. So, she says, it sounds awesome. If we were really for sure, then we got to be real and talk real. And then I just made sure, I'm like, you okay with the money going under the Zabin Co. name? She's like, well, is there any other names? She's like, I like Zabin. It's unique and catchy. And then she's like, are you really down? Of course, I'm really down because I do like cooking, and it's not too bad. And if, let's say, we all, like, typically on a Saturday, we all have that available free. So I would be down if, like, let's say, Saturday, like, on weekends where we're available. Because, I mean, literally, it's just based on when we want to go ahead and do this. You get me? So, she said she liked the Zabin name or whatever. And I was like, well, thank you. I just know at the moment I have it linked to my account. So basically, when because what we could do with the Square app, and this is what I'm gonna have to do, is um, try figuring out maybe different ways or options that we can go ahead and have each other linked into one account and yet make different purchases and things like that. So for example, if um, like I could pull out my phone at any time and go ahead, put in the credit card reader and be like, okay, well, this is how much it is that fine, or are you gonna be paying cash or credit today? And then I could just, go ahead, show them that it's this. They could put swipe, and I was like, would you like a the receipt would come in through like your phone number or through your I'm gonna eat this one, through your phone number or through your email. That's the only options that we would offer at the moment until we were able to afford the much bigger option, which is the actual like register, which again allows us to go ahead and make actual receipts. Yes, I enjoy my childhood. What? I don't know what she said that for, but alright. Oh, oh no. Oh, here we go. Okay. We're almost there. I accidentally went down. So, we're gonna be really catchy. Here we go. Okay, I'm back to where I left off. Okay, so I said, well, thank you. Just know at the moment that I have a link to my account. So, for me, if the way that I want to do this is if we were going to individually, like, let's say, for example, I have open space to go ahead and be able to charge someone, all right? I would go ahead and be like, okay, here, here, you paying cash, credit, cash. I actually have a money box on the side somewhere where we could use that as like an individual thing. So we would actually have to make money somehow. I mean, actually have money to put in there to go ahead and use it in case anybody were to go ahead and um, purchase via, dollar bills. You know what I mean? Whoops. So my cheek is itchy. So yeah, she said, and this is my friend, she said, I've always pictured myself as one day having a company or business, just wasn't sure of what. Um, I'm always like, yeah, I'm like, I'm down for this. My mom, literally, I'm like, Mom, tell your friends to charge. I'm definitely gonna make it, but I need to make something so I can keep getting this stuff, you know what I mean? So I was just like, you need to. I'm like, my mom never be getting money from her friends. That'd always be wanting the chicken. So we just basically end up getting it ourselves and just giving it away. I'm just like, nah, bro. I don't know you. I can need money. Um, gotta skip that because that's when she kept pressing the call button by accident. She said, well, I think she meant to say, well then, why don't we make up a menu first? So making up a menu first, I'm not sure. Well, obviously it's a good idea to start to go ahead and figure out um, what would we be making. Obviously, I'm thinking maybe making Americanized food, basically burgers, hot dogs, um, French fries, pizza puffs, things like that. That's basically American food. Um, which it could change monthly, weekly, who knows, just depending what we want it to be. So this is when I was bringing up the app. I said, oh, I think I could program the app through my phone to have, quote, co-workers or employees, oh, excuse me, so that if we ever made profit, we can know how much goes to who. So that way, let's say, for example, um, I was selling food and then it came up to like, let's say, I don't know, 1074. Um, basically, whoever is the one, I mean, obviously, like, let's say one day there's only one person just kind of standing at the register or whatever, and they're the ones doing everything, then that person would have to go ahead and, you know, I mean, the app itself, every time we scan and use the money, it's going to keep track of how much we earned, and then given a day or two, that money will instantly be transferred into the account, and then I can figure out, I mean, again, if there's only one person just say sitting at the register or checking out for people, then then it's just simple math. Like, okay, there's 4 of us, so everybody gets, say, if we want to be evenly distributed, we can split it amongst everybody, right? And then depending how we want to split it, because we also need expenses for something like taking care of maintenance and things like that. We need to be able to go ahead and take care of all this other stuff. So splitting the money would be simple yet difficult, um, because the way that I see it, again, if we all had our own individual scanners, I believe we'd be able to go ahead and have it linked up to our like, we could either have individual ones, charge the same price and everything on each, so, and then have people be like, oh well, I purchased it from here, and then every one that we sell, it would just go straight into the account. Or do it the way that I'm kind of thinking, which might be kind of a bad idea, but is to see if using the employee tab or the employee section and having my friends go ahead and punch in, because what it will do is it will say what employee, and it's a choice. Do you want the employee to type in their number or something like that every time that you make a sale? I'm thinking of going ahead and doing that option, because it seems like that's the way you can go ahead and keep track of who's selling what. So for example, let's say, again, like if we were in the food truck and then for some reason we keep like alternating or something, we could go ahead and, whoops, here we go. We could basically go ahead and, let's actually go back to that butcher. We would basically change shifts. So if, let's say, like, my bros just want to cook and they don't want to deal with, they want to cook and they don't want to deal with customers, or maybe vice versa. Maybe they only want to talk to customers and be like, oh, well, they want this, this, and this. I mean, of course, it'd be kind of a weird system. Jeez. I mean, it might be a weird system because obviously we don't know everything about fast food trucks, but let me enjoy my child. I don't even know what she's saying. But basically, we could just understand, like, what? I have no clue what I did. But I just want it to be a way where we can understand who's selling what, and then, oh my gosh, I hate Snapchat now because I can't. I go back to the messages and I press something and then it sends me all the way back down. Where, oops. Alright, so we're getting into the paragraph section. That's coming up. Here we go. But yeah, I just want it to be where we can either A, have it separate, and then if we individually make sales, we'll go ahead and get money directly into the accounts and then use that for ourselves, and it just be like a little small family business. Or we have it linked to one, which again I feel like is a bad idea. Figure out who's making sales, but also evenly distribute things around. So basically, since it's my company essentially and I want my buddy to help out with it, so basically it's our company. She's like, I'll say basically the co-owner, since I'm the one who came up with the name and used it for things like YouTube and whatnot, to go ahead and to do any of this. But basically I would want her to be the co-owner, and co-owner is basically, again, just regular owner. So I mean, the way that I'm pretty sure she'll be okay with it. You know, like, this is our business, like, together this is what we're doing. Because after all, this whole food truck idea, mine, all that. So the only thing that we are missing is just the ingenuity to make this happen. So, anyway, point is, at this point in, like, figuring out what we can do, money-wise, I believe one of the best things is having it linked to an account and then just figuring out how we can evenly distribute the money balance amongst everybody. So for example, let's
Seems I
say
buy this near every day.
only my
Pretty
friend
standard
Lenny
fare
and
these
I, let's
days.
say we were the only two that did uh,
Seems I buy this
a
near
sale,
every
because
day.
we are, as of now, trying to sell food for catering, because we think that would be the best bet. You know, you would make money through catering, and then that's what's gonna make us get money.
You come see me again
May
soon.
hopefully get enough money to. Oh, look at that, rank 23. Hopefully get enough money to go ahead and start something bigger. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's move on from that. You know, we're only gonna pay everybody that is involved. You know, if my bro, is that somebody in a bag or is that glitching out? Oh, jeez, it was Leaf. I thought that was a bag. I don't know why. So anywho, she said, we focus on a certain amount and start with catering and stuff. Like if your mom's friends want some, they can hire us and we can cater. Um, you know, if they just want a lot of that, because typically we would use about, I don't know if it's not 8 chicken breasts. Maybe let's just double it. What is 8 plus 8? 16? That sounds like catering to me. Maybe, I don't know. It really depends the sizing and how much you're spending, because you want to make an income, not just the money that you make, the money that you spend. You want to make an income. You want a good um, workflow or money intake, and of course it may not be a lot, because let's say you buy a bunch of I mean, my mom can help me out, because at times she does get, when she does get some items cheaper because she works at a grocery store, she will often get certain things discounted, and then we could just go ahead from there, cook whatever the heck that we need, and then just make a profit kind of based on what the original price was, so that way we're actually making a much higher profit just because of that discount. um Anyway, so she's like, yeah, like let's say like if, you know, my mom's friends wanted us to go ahead and make something for them, they could go ahead and try it out. I'm like, ooh, this is good, you know, I want this at my party, then we go ahead and we'll make it for them. And you know, because that's literally, I'm not gonna lie, that's literally what my aunt's wife does, except she doesn't do it for regular food. She actually does it with cakes. So she'll make cakes, cupcakes, cookies, all from scratch, um, for people who do birthdays and things like that. So I mean, come on, we're basically doing the same thing, except instead of cakes and things like that, we're doing regular food. I mean, if you want to do cakes and things like that, I'm definitely down to go ahead and try, but I mean, come on. So anyway, after that, I was like, I do like the sound of that, you know, starting with catering and things like that, and then going bigger. I was like, let me just get a pen and paper so I don't forget this, because often I will forget certain ideas. Like we could talk, it'll slip my mind. Sometimes, not always. But then sometimes I'll write it down and then I'll randomly find that paper and I'm like, oh, I remember this, and definitely do that. So here we are. She said after we start making profit, we can go ahead and go local and start doing ads. And then she's laughing. She's like, why don't you just save the ideas in the chat? I was like, oh yeah. So she's like, I already have sketched out how it should work out. And I was like, dang, already? She says she knows that her family often does big parties and are constantly doing celebrations, and that they can always start off like that, using um, you know, go via through friends, family, and then kind of spread that way. Um, she said she's, oh, because I questioned it. I was like, dang, you already, you know, figured out how this is gonna work? And she's like, yeah, because I've, you know, she's imagined that she had a business. So for me, I'm just surprised that she had it for, oh, I didn't want to shoot that guy. I'm just saying I mean, then again, it's not just like the food business alone. It's just any business in general. If you start off like small and then you are successful as a small business and then you eventually keep increasing and getting bigger, of course you're gonna want to get um, ads and things like that. What am I doing? Don't get away from Larson. Um, So anyway, she's like, yeah, they be always throwing big parties. Here we go. So she said, after the envisioning the business, she said she's been always ready for business. She just wasn't clear on when or what the business was going to be. So I'm just over here like, who would have thought that it would be us making a food business? You know, she's just laughing like, yeah. And she said this. This was interesting. She said, you know what I want to try out? Once we start vlogging, kind of like a diary of our progress. And in 10 years, when we're super successful, we can look back on it and see how our story was. And you know, I'm okay with that. I mean, that if anything to me, that's like a really great idea. And I even said it. I said that's a great idea. And then this is when I asked, would that be on the same channel that we like had no effort in, or something new? She said, yeah, lol. But I was like, so yeah to what? I'm assuming it's something new because it would make sense if we're a business. You kind of want to stick with the company's name, or at least what they're mostly used for and things like that. I mean, McDonald's is just McDonald's. Where you want to eat? McDonald's. What's the brand? McDonald's. All that. Heck, even the charity, Ronald McDonald's Hospital Care thing. They're associated with a lot of things. Um. Anyway, so this is why I was saying way earlier, if we or you'll see me in another or a new Zabin company, or a Zabin YouTube channel, I should say, not a Zabin company. I don't know why you slowed down. If you guys will see me in a new Zabin channel, because if we are sticking with the Zabin name, then we will go ahead and, be like, hey, how's it going? Neo Zabin here. This is everybody else, and just figure it out from there. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. I think if this actually does become a thing and we are successful in the way that it is, then definitely for sure we'll go ahead and, I guess just do what we do. The Zabin project will always be the way it is. I'll play games. Maybe I'll do some type of vlogging style. Reviews on whatever, but that's definitely going to be the thing for the Zabin project. Broadcast Zabin will always be live videos, and it does seem this is a partnership with Alex. Alex has done a few videos on it, so things might get a little hairy or complicated if it ever comes down to, let's say, if there was like a legal thing, which is, it's kind of weird to think that far, but this is just in case if there was ever a situation where it's like, what channels, what things belong to the Zabin name. I have that as a co-owner thing, but as a business, it literally, Larson, I need you to move. But literally, like, as a business, for the food, it's recognized under whatever the heck that we call it. But then you have other, you have the YouTube channels, which we have a bunch. Okay, the Zabin project's all me. There's nobody else that tampers with it. It's only me, nobody else. When it comes down to the other channel, Broadcast Zabin, this is with Alex. Alex has a hand and a say about things that go in that one, because she's the one who created the email and basically created the channel. I mean, maybe if I talk to her about it, I will see, like, hey, this is what's going on for me. CM Punk, that was my favorite wrestler, man. Dude, the CM Punk won. He won that. This is when I was saying the name. Anyway, yeah, so I don't know how the whole channel thing is going to be. If we're going to have the YouTube channel be completely different, because again, we do want to vlog the style, the way that we kind of rise to the top, I suppose. We'll definitely be going ahead and... Oh, look, see, herrings are over here. And I like that the map is actually marking them, because I used to go over here for a bunch of kills and they never marked them. Anyway, she said, yeah, lol. The best part is we can be free with it. Meaning, or I mean, basically, if I read the text, you guys will understand. She said we can be free with it. If one moment we want to put up something. Oh my goodness, well, Larson, run when I need you to. Let me read it again now because Larson was being a troublemaker. She said the best part is we can be free with it. If one moment we want to put up something else like travel or something, or travel or something, I wish I knew how to read sometimes, then we can do that. I've also had this idea just now. Once our business is successful, we can start to travel and see new menus around the world and experience new foods and get inspirations. And that's when I said that's a really good idea because, excuse me, I myself have always wanted to travel to other states and eventually around the globe to like hot areas, you know, where people go for the food. And I've always wanted to do that and be like, okay, we could go ahead and we could try to experiment with this, and if it's really good, then we could go ahead and, you know, go with it. So I'm like, yeah, that's a really good idea. That's when she's like, oh, we got, you know, we got to go ahead and explore our ideas. And I literally said, I was like, I want to go to I've always wanted to go to Louisiana because I've always heard that Louisiana has one of the best for like chicken food, and I think even gumbo there. I don't remember if it's that, but I know for sure chicken. And I was like, I think they got their own style of cooking. Louisiana does have their own style of cooking, don't they? Anyway. That's when she's like, oh, just write them down and then come up with a plan and we'll figure out what to do to start. We talked about the new phone, or for her to get a new phone so that she can go ahead and for her to get a phone so that she doesn't have to worry about hitting a button or something. So because she kept hitting the call button, which is like right next to something that she's pressing. It looks like there's a heron over there. I'm like, oh, or is that a tree? But that right there is a gator spawned out of nowhere. Larson! Oh my. This is why I don't play video games. I'm joking. So then this is when she asked the question. She says, wait, is it just food truck? She's like, wait, yeah, because then we can go ahead and travel anywhere. Because a food truck, you're not just limited to just one spot, and I think it actually might be in a way less maintenance to take care of because it's a more smaller confined space. I'm gonna just get rid of these gators. I believe it's a smaller space, so you wouldn't have to worry too much about cleaning a lot of things. So you would just be complaining whatever the heck that you use and all the tools and whatnot. I believe that it'd just be much simpler in terms of cleaning and maintaining. Let me see if I can find it. Where is the picture? Because this is when there we go. So she's like, yeah, if we have the truck, then we could just use that to go ahead and travel. And if anything, that's a really good idea because perhaps you could go ahead and travel somewhere and you're offering a food that maybe perhaps just isn't available there. So for example, how is there more gators? Yes. Okay. Now Larson's coming back. So I'm thinking, like, you know, if we go to, let's say, another area which doesn't have a food that for some reason that we offer, maybe that'll intrigue people to go ahead and try it, you know what I mean? Give out something that maybe could be a sample, you know, cut a burger in half, like, here you go, and then make that a sample. That's basically 2 samples right there. If we cut one, he's going poo-poo. What else? So, yeah, then this right here, that's when I was saying, oh, I found the employee setting for the credit card thing. We'll use that, and then every time somebody gets a receipt, it'll be from Zabin Co. And then as I said, oh, I just found the food truck. I said food truck because I like the idea of having a food truck. Those are really often rare to find, at least for me. Living where we are, I feel like it's pretty rare. I don't know. Like, I feel like you could go... Oh, I just had it. Oh, too far to shoot. It just seems like food trucks can often be rare. I don't know if it's a high demand for food trucks. Maybe, maybe not. But food trucks are pretty cute, so maybe so. Oh, even my friend, she's like, yep. And people love food trucks. So I'm assuming that she knows a little something. Uh, then this is when I said, if we were able to be big enough and noticed a lot by people, they're very well recognized, then we can go ahead and, you know, have a website that says the menu on there and where the location of the truck's going to be at what time. Um, and then she goes, yep, Neo, it looks like we're partners. Now we just got to see if my bros, Joey and Johnny, are going to be in it. She said, maybe Joey. John, she says, I don't know, just because that he's set on, like, something else. But I think this would be a great experience if, let's say, it actually does go well. This would be a great experience for everyone. So at the moment it's 3. And then I ended up bringing that, like, my sis, Chris, she, she seemed like she was okay with the idea of having, like, you know, catering food and things like that. But I was like, oh, maybe her as well. Now, the only thing is with Chris is, for her, she said that she had, like, an uncle or something that had a food truck, but they were getting robbed or something, so she didn't like the idea of getting robbed. And I'm just like, well, I mean, we're barely 20. I mean, once we hit 21, then we could legally go ahead and have a firearm. And as of the moment, I only have an air arm, if that's even a thing. Basically, I only have an air gun. And if I wanted to, I could literally go online and purchase, I could purchase more. Actually, no. Get off. We'll just sell the meat. We'll sell the meat too. If we wanted to, because you don't have to. As long as you're 18, I believe, technically an air gun, along with like airsoft guns, are somewhat considered like toys, because some of them will have, like, if you buy an airsoft gun, those will have the orange tip, and then if you buy what people will call a BB gun, which is basically an air gun, those will be the ones that are, you know, that shoot the little metal balls. Those are a bit more dangerous. So if we, let's say we had the food truck now, the best bet we could have is owning just an air gun, BB guns, things like that, if we needed a way to go ahead and somehow defend ourselves. I mean, I have a sword. I don't know if that would be a thing that people would want. I mean, I would definitely keep if we had it. I'd be like, okay, so if there's any time we need to defend ourselves, I have this sword right here. We could use it. If we want to be cool, maybe we could use it to chop a little bit of meat, but we have to make sure that it's sanitized at the end of the day. Or maybe not. You could cut somebody with some meat on it and get a little disease and be like, learn your lesson, buddy. Now you're screwed. Anyway, after all that nonsense, I was like, well, maybe we need a name. And I was like, so I typed, although maybe need a better name than FAMS, because at first I wanted to just call it FAMS, because that's basically like how I feel like we are basically a family. So I was like, let's just call it FAMS. And I was like, let's just call it something better now, because we were actually getting ideas and stuff. So I was like, can we just call it something better? I was like, come up with a better name than FAMS, unless that's what we calling this when we get it off the ground. She was like, oh, should we call it Underdog? And I kind of like Underdog, but again, it does make me feel like we have a thing here. I don't know how, if it's like worldwide or anything, but it's Lucky Dogs, and basically it sells. Technically, we would be doing the same thing as them, except they have gyros. Is it gyros or gyros? I don't know how you pronounce it. But they have basically everything. You could buy tacos from them. You could buy hot dogs, burgers, all that stuff from them. So we'll basically be doing the same thing, essentially, I believe, but not that. I'm gonna see if we could go ahead and I'm gonna ask them, or I'm gonna ask her, because when we eat, right? Let's say we're gonna go to eat or something. I'm like, can we go to Lucky Dogs? That way, we can get a menu and I'm like, look, this is what we're gonna do. I think that would be the best. So like underdog isn't that bad. I kind of like it, but to me, it's like if we are gonna, let's say if we're gonna do Americanized food, that would probably be our best bet. Is going ahead and okay, somebody's shooting. Um, for American food, that would probably be our best bet. Is just going ahead and maybe naming it something like underdog or anything like that. Oh, excuse me. So the left side is what we might need to change. So she just put like yeah, because she couldn't think of like any other name. So I was like, oh, it's fine. Like, you know, if you don't have any name ideas, that's cool. I just said I'll look into the names. I don't want it to be like Zabins. You know what I mean? Like, oh, let's go eat at Zabins. I mean, it isn't bad, um, or anything. I just said I just don't want it to be Zabins or anything like that. Well, at least for now. And then I was trying to say it, like I didn't know how to pronounce it until like I finally went on Facebook and figured out how you're supposed to type it out. I was like, I say it like A, you get me? Like Zabin. I know a lot of people will say Zabin. I don't know how the text pronunciations. I really don't. Like all I had to do was put a Y instead of an H. I put Zahbin because that's a lot of people see the name and they go, oh, Zabin or Zabin. I'm like, no, it's Zabin. I'm like, what the heck? But it's fine. Um, I said, I'm trying to think like, and then she's like, write it down. And I'm like, well, for some reason, kebabs. And again, that's when I brought up the whole thing with Puerto Rico, and I told you guys about that. So I brought that up to her. Um, then I forgot this is like usually the time that she gets out of work and gets home. So I was like, oh, right. Forgot. So she's like, I gotta sleep. I have a meeting in the morning. And then this is when we, you know, did all that. Then that was a thing, right? We did that. My bro in the morning, which for me is gonna be in a couple hours because it's already 4:20. Wait, isn't that a meme? Haha, I make a joke. I don't know. But it's the morning now. He goes, oh, that's cool, cool. I'm in, and then interested. So basically, he said that the reasoning behind that was because he was good, like he was okay with it. Like, yeah, I'm into that. But then he's like, well, maybe it isn't that great. I'm interested. Like, you know, give me more info and whatnot. So I really didn't talk much about it, but I'm waiting for later today to go ahead and be like, well, this is the idea that's going around. Let's go ahead and talk about it. I mean, I'm thinking we go ahead and talk about it a bit more when it comes to, let's say, I'm pointing at the wall because I'm just frustrated. But he's interested. First he was in kind of like, yeah, let's go ahead, let's do it, guys. But then I think he just got smart. He was just like, you know, maybe I want this to be foolproof. So, so my friend's like, oh, the business? Then you got to brainstorm some ideas. And she's like, Neo mentioned that like his chicken and wanted to try doing kebabs instead of kebabs, but kebabs. It's not really much of a difference. And then this is when we just stopped talking about the business and all that. So I'm really hoping that you guys, if you're watching at all, can give me some thought, some input on it, because this is something that's new to us. You know, we've never done anything like this before. Now, I have a bit of cooking experience. I've more of the fast food experience, because again, I did work fast food. Wow, I realized we're already at 91 bucks. We could literally, at the end of this, we could go ahead and buy the knife.
You are crazy.
Anyway, like I was trying to say, once, because I have fast food experience, so, and I could have easily just became a manager there if I would have stayed longer. And I believe that's something maybe they were wanting to go ahead and do with me, because a lot of people were saying that I'm such a good employee. And the customers were always telling the managers, like, this guy is really good at what he does. His customer service is really great. Whenever, you know, anything happens, I can, you know, I see him and I can rely on him. He's always smiling. He's always happy and all this and that, yada, yada. Even some customers are like, you know, he's very loud. I can hear him whenever we're talking, as opposed to some of the other customers. Like I remember, um, what were we do? I don't know if she was new, but I remember taking orders, and then this guy was just like, I could hear him talking, but I can't hear her talking, and I'm just like, oh, it's fine, I'll make sure. Like I said, I was like, oh, I'll make, she's still pretty new. I'm gonna help her get, speak a bit louder and whatnot. Because I do look out. Like even if you're new, let's say you're shy or something, I think it's just because I'm too nice. I'm always there to go ahead and help anybody. So a lot of the people, literally, there was this one, like a couple guys were joined, right? And this one guy, he would, even if he was slow or he might mess up, but he didn't stay in the job for that long. But I was constantly helping him out, and he was like, "I'm gonna remember you, man, because you were the only one that actually helps me out whenever we it's a busy day or something. Like you help me out." I was like, "Yeah, it's cool, man. Yeah, I don't know him. If we're gonna be honest, I don't even remember his name, but I remember he was like into cars and things like that, and I think he wanted to be a mechanic. Um, but he had a job with us for a while, and he was just as he was leaving, he quit, and he was just like, "Man, I'm gonna remember you because you were the only person that actually was there to help me." And even though I trained under other people, like I feel like I've learned more from you. And I was just like, "Oh, that's pretty darn awesome," because you know, um, nah, we know where it's at. We don't gotta do this. And to me, I was just like, "That's pretty darn awesome." That's probably one of the nicest thing anybody's ever said. And I've worked there for about 2 years. Um, And that's literally like one of the nicest things anybody has said. It was just, "Oh, I'll remember you because you're the only person that helped me." Um, so yeah, that's my experience with that.
What you think you're doing? Yeah, boy.
How the heck? Am I even that loud? Yeah, thin walls, right? I forgot. Anywho, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start wrapping things up. It's really late. But yeah, I mean, that's just my experience as, anything fast food and whatnot. Um, oh, but, jeez, I'm like maneuvering crazy. Um, but yeah, I don't know. That's just, I guess in a fast food aspect, I could go ahead and I'd be able to go ahead and do what I do best, which is, yeah, there's fast food stuff, I suppose, man.
Appreciate it.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Done and done.
Oh, I think we're just like $2 short.
You enjoy that.
Wait, hold on, do we have jewelry just by any chance? Wait. Oh, dang it. Hold on. If literally all we needed was a bird. Okay. All we needed was a bird, and we would have easily gone ahead. Okay, let's do that again. Let's do it one more time. We're gonna do one more. This is the. What I don't know why I guessed rare. Let's go ahead. Or. I mean, technically, we could go ahead and start robbing people. But I don't know if I want to do that. Because technically, people only have like a quarter, not at most a quarter on them. Rare if they ever have $1. Come on. I'm hearing noises. That's it. I'm hoping we could just at least find a bird like around here, because that's an easy buck right there. I mean, it could be a gator too, because you get like $3 out of that. So let's go ahead and let's do that. This is actually a pretty good hunting ground if anybody wants to go ahead and look for gators. I mean, not just gators. Wait, oh, I thought I saw the skin on the floor, and I was like, what the heck? The one time I need an animal, and it's nothing around. Is that a bat? I don't even care what it is. That's all we needed, was just that. Come on, come on, come on. Yes! Okay, it's in good condition. This should hopefully be more than enough, actually. But, yeah. That's literally the whole plan. Is to kind of, you know... Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Is to go ahead and, do our thing. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on my corpse. Ooh, that's not good. Where's the fence? There it is. I'm pretty happy that there's a fence in, Saint Denis, or Saint Denis. Just because of the fact that, I don't have to go far, because typically they're scattered. Like, they're in places normally that there's nothing good. But at least in Saint Denis, I keep saying, now I'm saying both, Saint and Denis. It's Saint Denis, or Saint Denis. I'm just pretty happy that it's just a thing. Yeah, I don't know. I just have experience as fast food, so I feel like if we needed, you know, to go ahead and do something, like if we need to wrap it up in paper or anything like that, like I know how to, I mean, there's really no technique, it's just putting it and unrolling it up, you know, it's nothing crazy. I don't know, I mean, there's nothing to it, really. I mean, it's simple work, honestly. It's just, again, it's just the type of food and then what you might need for it. Because if we, again, I already kind of, at the moment, have what payment could be used, which is, so far as of the moment, just using the application and whatnot for, oh, look at $4 just for the feathers. Heck yeah.
Seems I buy this. Appreciate it.
Just us, like, oh, jeez. Really? Come on. Hold on, let's just, we gotta wait, like, over here. We'll be fine. I mean, we should be fine over here. I don't want us to get caught already. I want to see what this bone knife looks like. This bone jaw knife thing. Now, I really didn't get too much into the clothing section because I really can't remember. I mean, some will say new, some will say coming soon. Or, no, they won't say new. Some will say coming soon, and then some will just be like, oh, here you go, it's available to buy. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I have my thoughts, but I mean, I don't know if I would say it's the best. Now, it's not you, right? Okay, good. Okay, so how the heck do we get in there?
You didn't see me?
Oh, this is like the black market. Okay. Right? Because, oh boy.
Ah, you found me. Hello.
Oh yeah, this is my first time ever being in here, so I don't know what to expect. Oh, of course there's nothing in there. What am I doing? Wait. Wait a second. Oh. Oh. It's like a second floor. Okay, that's pretty
You know,
cool.
I have quite the list of devoted customers. Big names, very hush-hush.
Yeah, baby, hey, shut up. I want... Oh, it was 105. Oh, we're a little over, aren't we? I want the jawbone.
Enjoy it.
Now, let's get out of here real quick, because I do want to see how it looks like. Ooh. Hoo hoo hoo.
Pardon.
Oh, wait, let me go in the first person. Oh, it's kind of cool. It's like all rigid and stuff. I want to know. Hold on. This will literally be the last thing that we do before calling it a night. Or morning? Day. Whatever. You get the idea. Okay, oh, it looks cool. And I want to know if we can customize it. Because you could do that for the hunting knife. But can you do it for this knife? Think about it. And I kind of want a close-up look, at least like at the handle and things like that. Yes, I am a new customer. Yay, I'm welcomed. I can't change it? Really? So I can't change the knife. Well, that's a bummer. You could change the other one, but not that one? Although, let's see what we can customize on this, really. So we could change the color of the knife.
We also offer an engraving service in case you are interested.
I mean, I kind of want to do that, like make it the blue steel. What's the engravings? Well, see, even the blue steel looks darker. Wait, what? How can you have it but yet not have it? That makes no sense. So we got ornaments, skulls, and then
You see the church
cube.
across the street? Father O'Leary carries a gun, a Dellinger. I sold it to him, just in case turning the other cheek doesn't work.
I think I'm gonna do like blue steel and then leave that silver, or leave that as iron. Or maybe I should do it. No, I'll probably do nickel. It's kind of like a different tone. And then varnish, we could do. Leave it the same. There's really no
Let
point.
me know if you need help.
I thought the knife was gonna be customizable. That would have been cool. Like, the best thing I could do is get a first-person view of it, which is about it. Like, I can't zoom into it. I can't do nothing. But it is unique and different, so I give it that. Let's just clean this gun. Oh, I'm still crouched down. What's wrong with this woman? Come on, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. You look weird. Alright, well, you guys, that's gonna have to be it for today. I really did do my best. I tried, and I failed. Yeah, apparently we were too loud. We were getting text that we were being too loud, which it didn't seem like we were. So I was really confused. Anywho, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I talked my heart out, whatever. You get the idea. Stuff to do today, so thank you, all. Thank you. Goodbye. And stay healthy. There we go. I said it good this time. Goodbye.